Now that you have your engine mounted in your car, let's find what transmission is correct for your vehicle. My recommendation, if you guys are just starting this build, maybe don't want to spend a ton of money or delay your project, you could just put your factory trans back in there. To put that trans in there, if you could keep it in the same spot, then that'll save you from having to make the drive shaft and the new shifter linkages, which will save you a ton of time of having to cut the floor up. If you'd like to have great bottom end, great cruising on the highway, run a 6L80 or 6L90. Those are very good. If you're making a ton of power, I would recommend using a Power Glide. They're super reliable, ultimate bulletproof transmission. But if you're running just a kind of cruise around the city, just NA setup, 4L60 is just the classic go-to transmission. And for those of you who an automatic transmission just doesn't sound that great, or you want those amazing sounds, rolling those gears, feeling that power, definitely run a TR6060. Those are going to be the top annual trans for you, 6-speed. For those of you running an LT Gen 5 engine, you have two more transmission options. You have the 8L transmission and the 10L, which is a 10-speed automatic, which has amazing low end and amazing double overdrive. Definitely going to be cutting your floor up for that, so plan on a little bit more time. Let's go over how to connect your LS engine to your old school Chevy transmission. So there's four options to be aware of. You have the oddball ones like an LS9, which has a 9-bolt crankshaft. You have the 8-bolt crankshaft, which is in your LSAs, or your Gen 5 LTs also run the same one. Then you have your 99 and 2000 year only for the 6 liters. Those had a longer crankshaft, so those need a 6-bolt crank, but it has a flat flex plate, so this one's dished. All of your other engines that are going to be just your standard 6-bolt, they're going to be this dished flex plate, so you'll see there's kind of this dished shape and it's not flat. This is going to be probably 99% of you guys out there swapping is going to run this dish. Ideally, if you did this correctly, you would just buy the torque converter for your engine, and then you wouldn't need to adapt any of this or use the crankshaft spacer. We do this plenty of times here, just use the flex plate that's made to adapt your small block, big block Chevy pattern, and then you add this crankshaft spacer. So this spacer basically extends the length of the LS crankshaft, and that way it lines up with the hub of your torque converter. That way it aligns on that center and doesn't walk around while the bolts are holding it in place. If you're using a LT engine, we have these two. LT, you can see here, has an 8-bolt pattern. This is the exact same as LSA. So if you have an LSA engine, it's the same as an LT. If you're gonna do any kind of racing, we would strongly recommend using our Billet flex plate. This thing's rated for 20,000 RPM, which is insane, and like 3,500 horse. So it's a Billet steel one. These things are indestructible. Highly recommend this if you like keeping your legs and you don't want your flywheel to go through the transmission case. If you look at our guide here, you can see which flex plate to use with the 99 and 2000. For the other models, just follow the chart here that's available on our website. Now to attach your flex plate, if you're switching these out, we have the standard length, which is for your normal flex plates, or you have an extended length if you're running a little bit like a thicker, like a flywheel, like on a manual transmission, you would want the longer ones, or if you had a spacer in there. Be sure to check your email for the next video in our series going over oil pans.